Hey everybody, John here, also known as Old Dude, and I am with Cousin Shay. You remember Cousin Shay from Cousin's First Backpacking Adventure, which, if you missed that series, you can go down and click on the name of my channel and then click playlists, and you'll see it there. Cousin's First Backpacking Adventure.
Hello.
So, Cousin Shay is back. We are at her house in Illinois, and by the way, she is also now known as
Half Mile.
Half Mile. So Cousin Shay has a trail name now. So we're preparing for a 5-day backpacking outing, and I thought I'd go through my gear. So Shay has got her pack all packed up here, and her trekking poles over here, and her pack weighs in at like 37 pounds or something, 34, and mine is around there, 33, 34 pounds. That's not the base weight though, that includes nearly 10 pounds of food a piece. So I've got my solar charger, which I keep clipped to the outside of the pack here so that it can get sun when I'm hiking. This needs to be charged back up with AC, which you only have to do about every 6 months, something like that. And then after that, I normally just keep it on my windowsill at home where it gets sun and it stays charged up. If you get a solar charger, you want to make sure that it really is the real deal, because actually Half Mile got burned by that. She bought what was marketed as a solar charger, and it wasn't very expensive, but that's because it really was just it wouldn't recharge with the solar panel. The solar panel would only power the flashlight, and otherwise it was just basically a battery bank. So, but this is a real live solar charger. Taking flip flops, which I've got hanging from the loops here. And then I've got on one side is Powerade, which will then just be my drinking bottle, and then the other side is my 1 liter flask with the rigging here that involves the hairband to keep it from slipping out of this pocket, because it does tend to work its way out of there. So let's go through everything else we got here. All right, now I debated whether to talk about this, and I'm still debating whether to leave it in, but this empty bottle right here with no label on it, this is my pee bottle. So you younger dudes may not have to worry about this yet, but when you reach a certain age, you'll find that you cannot get through the night without having to pee, and I'd just as soon not get out of my tent, especially since the first night is supposed to get down to 26 degrees or something. That should be the coldest night out there. And by the way, little tip here, you can, if you do pee into a bottle during the night, and it's a cold night, you can actually just make sure your bottle's not leak proof, but you can put it in, against your body, and it will provide a little bit of, it's a source of warmth for a little while. So, all right, so there's that. Now, I have a guidebook right here for the trail that we're doing, and I don't want to mention the trail yet. That's going to be a surprise. So your hints are that we're planning to do it in 5 days. We'll kind of be pushing it if we can do it in 5 days. So it may take 6, possibly even 7, but at this point we think 5 days is doable. And the trail is entirely within the borders of the United States. So there you go. There's your hints, and you can hazard a guess in the comments if you want. All right, here is a magazine just for reading at night. And then I've also, here I got a paper in it which has the names and numbers of shuttle drivers. We'll be leaving our car at the starting end and then getting a shuttle to take us back at the end of the hike, once we have an idea when we're going to finish and can give people a meeting time and that kind of thing. All right, here is a trash bag. This has some clothes in it, so I've got, and this is a big one, so I can put a lot of stuff in here that I don't want to get wet. Inside it right now, we've got spare socks. Actually, I think maybe all the socks that I plan to wear are in here. I've got a base layer, which I don't think I'm going to start out wearing. So the first day, I think the high temperature is actually in the 40s, maybe 45 or something like that. First night it'll get down to 26, so I might put the base layer on at night. I've got my mittens here, and then the clothes that I'll be wearing are over here someplace. Okay, here is a bag that I can just, it's kind of like a laundry bag, right? It's got mesh on the sides here. This I can use to put wet stuff in and hang it on the outside of the pack if it needs to dry. So, got that. This is just a pad that I spread out usually to lay stuff on inside the tent particularly, or sometimes during a break stopping on the trail. Here is my sleeping pad, which is a self-inflating Thermarest pad, and then these are these things here I use to wrap around it to once it's rolled up. So I don't know, I think maybe more people used to use these in the old days, back in my day, but I'm the only person I know who uses one of these right now. So I'd be interested if anybody else uses a self-inflating Thermarest pad. I like it a lot. It's just, it inflates, it doesn't inflate a lot, but it inflates as you move around on it, and then it deflates just as you roll it up. So there's nothing to do. It just, takes care of itself. Hence the name. I've got my puffy blanket here, which I would usually have rolled up and in its stuff sack, but I decided to just to not do that this time, but just stuff it down in there because it takes up a sort of rigid space if you roll it up, and I'm already going to have space like that taken up by the food canister. All right, so food canister. Already packed with 5 days of food, weighs just under 10 pounds, I believe, and I'll do a separate video about the food that I've got in here and how this thing works. If you are not familiar with these canisters, they're usually called bear canister. I don't like to call it that. I like to call it food canister because it's a bear should never have anything to do with it. And of course, it's best that bears and humans just mind their own business and stay apart from each other. And so this is a human food canister is what it is, as far as I'm concerned. Okay. Rain gear. Okay. Pants and a jacket. My tent, which is an REI Flash Air 1 tent, about the smallest tent that I've ever seen. If you're much, it's a cozy fit for me, and I'm only 5'7". So I mean, if you're over 6 feet tall, if you're 6'3" or something like that, you're probably going to need something else because it probably won't be long enough. But I do like the fact that it's it's very easy setup and tear down, and it's very light also. It weighs like 1 pound 6 ounces if you use the support pole that comes with it. You can also pull that out and use a trekking pole instead to set it up, and then it weighs 1 pound 4 ounces. Okay. Inside here, okay, so this is just a sack here, and I put a few cords, like a couple of bungee cords and stuff like that in here. I don't specifically know what I'm going to use these for, but I know that it has been useful in the past to have rope, so I do have one length of rope. I've got a long, the orange bungee cord is kind of long, the green is kind of medium length, and then I've even got 3 very short black ones, which you can see one of them here, but I'm only won't try to free them up there. 2 or 3 of those, maybe just 2. Really short ones. Okay. And what's next? Okay, this is a pillowcase with my inflatable pillow inside. So, and here is my puffy jacket. Probably will not start out wearing that because, again, the high is going to be in the mid-40s on the first day. But I'll probably be breaking that thing out that night. 2 tarps, one that's kind of medium size that I put under my tent, and another one that is a little bit larger. And we expect to have rain toward the second half of the trip. So I think I might pitch a tarp above my tent somewhere so that it just provides drainage, right? We'll just deflect the rain away from, falling directly on my tent.
They call that a lean-to in farm country.
Ah, yes, right. Make a lean-to out of it and put my tent underneath it. Yep. Okay.
You all might also mention that is a 70-liter pack.
Yeah, it's so I didn't know what size it was until actually Half Mile noticed that on the side here it's a Kelty is the brand of backpack, which I didn't buy new. I bought it actually from another cousin, a female cousin, who and so it says here Coyote 70W. So I guess it's 70-liter capacity and a women's pack. So I mean, I wouldn't have known it's a women's pack. I mean, I guess maybe because the coloring here, this purplish coloring, maybe kind of womany.
I believe that the frame of the pack and specifically the arm shoulder straps are tailored more to fit a traditional female body.
Okay, yeah. But it works really well for me, maybe because I'm kind of a smaller frame guy. It works out well, but yeah, I like it a lot. Okay, in here we've got a couple of fire starter cubes, and then cotton balls and petroleum jelly to serve as fire starter if we need it. This big clear bag here, kind of like a dry cleaning bag, but I don't think that's where it came from. But anyway, we're going to cut some holes in this and make a poncho that hopefully will go over me and my pack. According to the forecast, once it starts raining on about the end of day 4, it may not stop, and it may rain all through the night and all through day 5.
Mm-hmm.
So out there on day 5, I'm thinking this might be good to just have over everything, even though I've got rain gear. That might be good too. Side pocket here. These are my hydration inside this. It's a bread sack, and inside here is basically my what do you call them? Hydration packets, electrolyte mixes to put in my drink. So I've got 10 of those, so 2 per day.
Welcome to the budget backpacker.
Yes. What looks like a little hunk of cheese or something is foot balm. It's called Happy Toes. Comes in a little, jar like this. But rather than have to mess with the jar and so much of it, Half Mile cut a hunk of it out of there, and we put that in that baggie for me. I haven't used it before, so I'm just going to try it out. Just see, each night maybe rub that on my feet and just see what kind of effect it has, if any, and if I find it helpful. And this side pocket is, okay, this is toilet paper and my trowel. Those can stay in there. Oh, and in case she had asked if that's enough toilet paper, but I've also got wet ones. I got a pack of those. So. All right, in here we got my reading glasses. emergency blanket, like a space blanket type of thing. We got several packages of hot hands and insole foot warmers. I'm thinking maybe I'm going to just take this. I think maybe just 2 packages of these should do it, because once it warms up above freezing on day 2, it's not going to get down below freezing, I don't think. So I don't think it's going to be cold enough that I need to take several of these. So
Okay.
I'll go ahead and... This is just an all-purpose rag that I always take with me, just for wiping things and whatever. So, all right, here's my headlamp, and then the charger cable for it. And then in this tortilla sack here,
The Budget Backpacker.
an assortment of stuff. We got our wet ones, a first aid kit, moleskin padding, which I found that I now use pretty much every time I hike now on my feet. Cut out a square of it and put it on the ball of my foot, just below the big toe on each foot. So, and I'll be changing that every day. So I've got the padding, and then also the little scissors that I carry. I usually have those in the food bag, but I don't really want to put them in the food canister, just because I need them for other things besides, cutting open a package, a food package. I use it for other things. For instance, cutting some moleskin padding. So to have it handier, more accessible, I'm just keeping the scissors right in there. An open package of that. And then here's just a wet wipe. My tick removal devices. Sawyer Picaridin lotion for a little more tick protection. So we have not fully permethrinated our gear. We didn't spray everything with permethrin this time because right now in Illinois it's sub-freezing temperatures. I mean, it's been very cold, down near 0. So it would take forever for the stuff to dry, and it's also very windy out there, and it's just not good conditions to be able to spray out here on the porch. So, but I mean, I should still have residual protection for my backpack here, my boots, my tarps, my tent, and the shirt that I'll be wearing, and the pants too, I think, and socks. Not all the socks, but some of the socks that I'm taking. So, even though the stuff hasn't been sprayed recently, it's been, over a month and a half, or almost 2 months or something like that. I think still will be all right with residual protection. But if it warms up enough and it seems like, ticks could be an issue, I might just put a bit of this on myself. So there's that. Always take the snake bite kit. You never know. This is a booster battery for my camera, and here is an extra SD card, and then Benadryl. So I usually have that just in case something gives me an allergic reaction, like if I got bit by an insect and something's going weird with my skin, or a plant dermatitis or something like that, break out in a rash, or it looks like I'm allergic to something, that'll be handy. Haven't ever needed it so far, but you never know. All right, so I think that covers it. Supplies for our 5-day backpacking trip. And as I say, the food canister here, I'll do a separate video on that. I put some reflective tape on it, which I was hoping it would go all the way around, but it didn't quite make it. So this is just in case the canister gets disturbed during the night, if it actually got moved and tumbled down a hillside or something like that. Hopefully it'd be easier to spot. Also, the reason that Half Mile and I both decided to go with canisters for this trip is that sunrise should be about 7:30 each day, and then sunset around 5:20, 5:25. So that gives us just a touch under 10 hours of daylight, during which time we need to be on the move. And if you're going to hang a food bag, you would certainly prefer daylight for that, to find a suitable tree and to just, and sometimes that takes 5 minutes and sometimes it takes 35 minutes, just depending on whatever kind of trouble you might have with, you know, the branch that you've chosen, or you could be on a hillside trying to throw your rock up over a branch and you don't have good footing, and who knows, so um, since we don't want to spend any daylight doing that kind of thing, we decided to go with the canister. And also, um, here's the best part, is now Shay has a different kind called a Bear Vault, and it's shorter than mine, but the kind I have makes an excellent stool. I really like the height of it, and so I plan to keep it, to where I can get it out of my pack without too much trouble when we stop, and if there's not a suitable place to sit. And then, of course, at camp, I can sit on it until we turn in. But basically, you just want to keep your canister not right there, where you're sleeping, but keep it some distance away, in case an animal does get curious about it and decides to investigate. They won't be doing it right outside your tent. So, all right, so I guess that about does it. And yeah, I had it all packed, took it out though, so that I could decide if I wanted to repack things the same way. And I think Half Mile plans to do the same. She's got hers all packed, but she's thinking of doing a final review. And then early tomorrow morning, we head out to our destination, and then start hiking the next day. So, I guess that's that. Okay, you were saying about your gear here. What do you got?
These are my dry clothes, and they're in a waterproof bag. This is my camp pillow. This is my tent, and around it I have wrapped a piece of Reflectix, and that'll go under my sleeping pad, kind of help with the body heat staying.
Cool.
The cold not coming up through. This is my kitchen. So this is the kitchen. I have a spoon, a little collapsible bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And this is Reflectix type material. So what I'll do is combine like the Knorr's pasta sides with the rice.
Mm-hmm.
I'll put boiling water in with that, mix in a quart-sized freezer bag, which is heavy enough that boiling water won't come through it. So just soak it inside this thing, and it helps to retain the heat. And you just leave it in there for twice the amount of time listed on the package for normal cooking.
Okay.
And then you have a hot meal.
Nice.
Yep. So that's why I liked this particular lunchbox. It can be my oven. And then the stove fits in here. Here's my candy stash. And the stove's down in there.
Nice.
That'll let us heat water and have coffee.
Right on.
If we're lucky, this is Taster's Choice Nescafe. If we're lucky, George Clooney will come out of the woods and join us.
The Bear Vault.
All right, let's see. What does it weigh?
And it's full of 5 days worth of food.
5 days worth of food.
8 pounds, 8.5 ounces. So you're less than mine.
Yep.
Which let's put mine back on there. So I went with the I don't know what this model is called, but this canister is 9 pounds and almost 9 ounces.
This is a Bear Vault. They're incredibly hard to open unless you know this trick. You take an old credit card or a gift card. So what it is, there's a post here and then two nubs that click when it goes by, and then you can't back up.
There it goes. Well, it's we might have a couple of wet days out there, so you're gonna have to figure out a way to do that without without the
That's crazy.
oven or without the hot pad or whatever.
This is my 5 days. There's some beef jerky, freeze-dried coffee, a little coffee creamer, and then I have an assortment of like the rice. And what you do, you just put 1.5 cups of water in here and put it in the lunchbox for 15.
Chicken broccoli rice.
Mhm.
So is that a Knorr side?
Yeah.
Okay. So
And this is cheddar broccoli rice.
all right.
And I have an assortment of different snacks, peanuts,
Some trail butter.
trail butter, granola. This stuff's really good. And it has a lot of calories. This is 350 for one serving.
Nice.
And this is really tasty too. It's trail butter, dark chocolate, and coffee almond butter blend.
Oh,
So it's like peanut butter,
that sounds fantastic.
doesn't it? And there are other flavors. And then this came with the trail butter as a sample. So I'll try that. And then I have an assortment of tuna and chicken in the pouches.
So what else is in the pack here?
Oh, yeah. Down here, I won't drag it out, but it's my sleeping bag. I have a 20-degree bag. The weather is supposed to be quite chilly, which is why I'm doing the mattress pad of Reflectix.
Yeah.
Yep. And then the brain. The first aid kit. This is a combination whistle, compass, mirror, waterproof matches, flint.
Nice.
Okay, so this is my new water filter. So this is flexible, and you take the top off, fill it with water, and then you screw this on, and then squeeze it into your other container to drink.
And I see you got your hand sanitizer hanging off your strap here, like I see a lot of people do.
Absolutely. I got that from Frozen.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the backup power bank.
Mm-hmm.
And, personal items. A little bit of
Oh, okay.
moleskin in case.
Yep. Well, I use the moleskin daily.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I've got a supply to, last.
Okay.
Mhm.
And I also have a couple of zip ties and a little patch kit. Because my air mattress is inflatable. So, and then this is tenacious tape. In case it's needed. That's about it.